In this latest patch, it definitely feels like Lich has kind of died off a fair amount, and I don't think anyone's necessarily upset by that. Definitely I'm not, but Penta's still liking it here with a tier 1 pick even. Again, ultimately the first pick. What do you think?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Lich is sort of one of these heroes that keeps bouncing between patches because he starts off really strong, and in a new patch, teams usually go towards building a really solid foundation. Lich is one of those heroes that can build like a really solid laning stage, right? Because he can dominate the laning stage, which is making sure you always have the equilibrium that you want. And Lich is one of those heroes that teams usually gravitate towards when a new patch, when you're not really sure what to run. It provides a lot solid laning stage. He can scale actually pretty decently with the talents now, but I think he's sort of like fallen out of favor because he is too slow in the mid game. Other five positions. I mean, we've seen a lot of teams go with very greedy 5-position supports as well. I mean, I know you and we watch a lot of complexity. And, we see Kyle play these heroes on the 5 position that we usually see in 4 positions.
Yeah.
Right? Sand King, Earthshaker, all these like initiator types, and we just see more and more players or more and more teams have a sort of like a more flexible support duo where it's not like a strict the classic PPD 6-position support, but rather, hey, you know what, our 5-position support gets farming experience as well. Let's pick them something that scales much better than the Lich does. But Penta, they still feel very comfortable with it just because it gives them a solid laning stage. And just from watching Penta in the past game versus Secret, I think having a solid laning stage is definitely something that you want.
Whenever you're in a matchup where it's fair to say, Penta definitely outmatched many teams would be against Secret, definitely trying to draft yourselves to at least do good, if not ideally win at least one, if not a couple of the lanes, is what you're looking at, because obviously that's where everything starts, and getting that good start can allow you to then have the success later on. So yeah, Lich is a hero that most certainly provides that, kind of furthering the point you're making. So Skim, you've done your research clearly. Clockwork, the 3rd pick for Penta, and very quick response of Secret coming out with a puck now in that 4th spot after the Ogre Magi. But yeah, Penta, you can kind of read them like a book, it seems like. These picks.
The thing I really dislike about this support duo from Penta is that it can be punished very easily. And if you're Secret, you see these 3 picks right now, and the puck is such a good pick here. Like, how do they control the puck? Yeah, you have a hook shot, but afterwards it's going to be really difficult. Like, all these abilities, or most of these abilities, puck can dodge, right? Even coming out from the CK, the control coming out from the CK. And in turn, puck is really strong here because the silence can disrupt the entire team fight potential for Penta. If he finds a clutch silence onto the Brewmaster, they can burst him potentially down before he gets his ultimate off. So I really like the puck pick here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Team Secret, fully took control of this sort of like game and tried to exploit this as much as possible, or be really greedy themselves and potentially run this Omni Knight as a support. I mean, we see the puck and the Razor could potentially be a support Omni Knight and just run it really greedy because it doesn't really look like they can really get punished with this Clockwork.
That's a possibility. I will say the idea of the offlane Omni Knight, what we really have been seeing a lot of these teams do, is just kind of abuse the fact that with that early DGNRL, you have an Omni Knight paired up with, frankly, something like the Ogre Magi, and they just run at you, and it feels like you can't do anything about it, actually. So would not be surprised to see that as well coming up for Team Secret, but yeah, we'll see what decision they make with that final pick and how things ultimately set up here. Again, currently with what they have, I mean, they could, frankly, still do a lot because they could easily run puck in the off lane. And, well, no, maybe not that because, yeah, with the for the 4-position Omni Knight like you were getting at. So I guess they still could do some tricky things, but ultimately I will lean towards that position for the Yapsor hero that they may be going with. But Doom is going to be the final pick for Penta. It's kind of another one on the list of a somewhat Omni Knight counter. I mean, maybe puck as well, obviously, if you get the Doom on, but that's always a big if from what I witness, at least. It's definitely not a guarantee getting that off on the heroes you want.
That's definitely a good point. And again, even if you Doom somebody, they're good responses from Team Secret. I mean, they also have naturally tanky heroes. I mean, the puck aside, Omni Knight Augur are pretty tanky targets that you don't really want to Doom. I mean, yeah, maybe the Omni Knight just to prevent any supportive abilities, but he's still very tanky, not very easy to kill even when doomed. And if you doom anybody else, they always have the heal from the Omni Knight on top of it. So Secret definitely. I mean, Doom. I still think it's a good pick here, but definitely if you're Secret, I don't think you're really worried too much about this.
Yeah, final ban on the Medusa from Penta. That is interesting because again, it really with what you would expect from normal strategy, again, you figure they probably still need that position 4, but like you're getting at, I mean, they could still kind of swap things around and ultimately pick even a mid-hero here if they really felt like that was necessary. I don't know if I'm leaning towards that, though. I mean, obviously, Rubik's banned, so we're not going to see the Yapgon and his signature Rubik hero, but what is there? Maybe an Earth Spirit could be good here, more stun to work with.
It definitely could be good here, but I think if you're secret running, if you just pick a 4 position now, you run the risk of not being able to deal with the Chaos Knight illusions. Razor doesn't really deal well with illusions, neither does Omni Knight or Puck. Like, I mean, you have like abilities against it, so I feel like they need something against illusions. Yeah, the Gyrocopter, there it is.
Huh.
So this is either a 4 position Puck or Omni Knight. Puck, 4 position Puck. All right.
Huh. All right, yeah, that was something else that was on the list of possibilities. Of course, 4 position Puck we have been seeing more and more of. You mentioned complexity. In fact, Z-Freak ran it a couple times at the Perfect World Masters, but even before that, of course, Crit for EG, played it even at TI. So this is a hero that ultimately has proven he can play from even the 5 support all the way up into the position 2. So yeah, Yaps or Puck, that'll be fun to see coming out from Secret. But I guess, yeah, to your point, though, to be fair, Gyrocopter, that they needed more illusion control, and Gyrocopter brings that not only a meta hero right now, but the call down and flat cannon, etc., is going to be very powerful against the CK ideally. So mid 1 will be the one playing it here. Ace going to be on the Razor. Now that we have the drafts about, I mean, what are you leaning towards either way? You take the teams out of consideration. Is there a draft you like either way?
It's difficult. If it wasn't a Doom, I would probably favor the Penta. Like, if they have any other hero, really, I would probably favor Penta just because I really like the rest of the team. But that Doom makes me feel really iffy, and I would probably lean towards Secret. The Puck is greedy, but at the same time, I mean, I did make a point that, you know, against the Lich Clockwork, I think he can get away with this greedy lineup here from Secret, because I don't see the punish potential from Penta early on. I mean, yeah, they're going to have maybe even favorable lanes just because of the Lich.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't think he can really punish or pressure Secret that much with this lineup. Well, we shall see. It ultimately comes down to the individual matchups, and then, you know, I mean, DNZ is a fantastic Clockwork, so he, you know, I think DNZ is one of those guys that, you know, I mean, every 4 position player is really a guy that you can sort of like look out for, because it's easy to make flashy plays on a 4 position, but I think DNZ is definitely one of those players that in a year from now we probably will like talk about him like we talk about Yapso these days. Okay,
this is really weird, by the way. I think I'm watching your camera control. This is a crazy bug, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think you need to. You need to restart Dota for that.
Yeah, let me just
disconnecting is not gonna be enough.
I was gonna say that could be a little interesting as far as. Yeah. By the way, one thing I did notice there. So obviously, let us know if there's any action. But 9 was playing the Doom for Penta, and he's their mid player, correct?
Well, him and Oliver switch it up a lot.
Do they? Okay.
Really. Yeah, they switch it up a lot. So it's, I mean, it really goes both ways. I mean, we've definitely seen Oliver take a lot of these like classic sort of melee heroes to the mid lane. I mean, Lysander mid lane from Oliver, we've seen that before. So it's I'd say they're fluid in that regard.
Okay. All right, so yeah, I'm back in, got my own control. We're good to go, guys. We're good to go. Not that you wouldn't be a great camera guy.
Oh no, I'm
just
awful.
Good fun.
Trust me, I'm awful. I switch between like, I zoom out all the time, and then I switch between perspectives all the time.
Yeah.
Just to have more fog of war. It's horrible.
All right, well, now the pressure's on me not to miss anything. We'll see. That's probably not going to happen, but I'll do my darndest, guys. DNZ, look at him over here. Clockwork getting some nice vision early on and acting like they're going to flank the mid lane. Perhaps trying to kill this Gyrocopter. Obviously, Ogre's a little tougher, but Lich is here as well as the Chaos Knight paired up in the middle lane. So how about that? Sending the CK to the mid lane for Penta. That means Doom is sure enough in the safe lane up top. Going to be matched up against a Razor, actually, and right off the bat, the Link comes out, sapping that damage.
Lich CK is actually a little bit of a classic dual lane. I believe it was the old Fnatic, you know, the Han Fnatic with No-Tail, Fly, Honey, that used to run this lane as well.
Yeah.
And it's not that bad, actually, because it's really difficult to kill them, and they actually have a lot of kill potential with the Reality Rift, with the Frost Blast. I mean, they would have to wait until level 3 until they have that kill potential, but once they hit those levels, I think they can actually threaten mid 1 here.
Yeah, obviously a level 1 Lich, not going to bring much as far as the sacrifice, but here we go. That Frost Blast gets, it's level 2 mid 1, going to be pulled in. DNZ running after him, but does not have Battery Salt, and actually has Cogs at the time. He had used it earlier, so mid one just kind of walks it off. So he'll be fine for the time being. But this essentially is a tri-lane being ran here by Penta in the middle lane. And now Yapzor is rotating over on Puck. Illusory Orb is ready. I mean, try versus try mid. It's not often we get this.
It's not often, but you know, Dota these days. Sometimes you just wanna. Sometimes you just want to secure those 1v1s anyway on the side lanes. I think both teams are sort of fine with these 1v1s. I mean, Boogie versus Omni Knight shouldn't do that badly, and yeah, Doom is not a favorable matchup to them, but being able to kill mid one early on would have been really clutch for Penta.
Ace top lane, obviously Clockwork coming in to rotate, maybe trying to make a play, but not going to be the case. Ace just walks it off and he'll be fine. Back to going 1 versus 1. Bounty Rune's going to be controlled meanwhile by the supports. See the homing missile channeled onto Chaos Knight in the middle. Puts the donk on and he'll just pop a salve shortly after. Armin with the invis. Again, the Lich, he's not necessarily, I was going to say, not much you can do with that. He just actually pops out with the sacrifice. Just simply taking the Invisible Rune away from the other side. Yeah, top lane. Ace is in trouble, though. Clockwork coming in. He's zapping a lot of damage, but Clockwork should be able to do enough damage. No, he doesn't have Battery Assault yet. He's only level 1, actually. And he gets turned first blood in favor of Secret. That was not as planned for Clockwork.
Yeah, the stick charges from Ace there. He looked deceptively weak, and you know, I think Clockwork should have gone for the push instead of the trap. I think if he goes for the push, I think they probably kill him just because they push him further away from the tower, deal a little bit more damage, and maybe even mid lane on the mid one.
Homing missile will keep him alive, yeah.
But yeah, maybe if they go for the push there, maybe it's a kill. But again, Razor's not an easy target to kill by any means.
Especially with all the damage he saps at that point. Doom, other than Infernal Blade, really wasn't really doing too much right there. Currently, he does have a Thunderclap ready to use as far as his laning presence goes. But yeah, back to a 1 versus 1 at the top and back to a tri-lane against one another at the middle lane. Or maybe not, because Clockwork is heading towards the bottom, actually. That's the only lane we really haven't addressed just yet. Omni Knight versus the Brewmaster. And it's a pretty back and forth, very even one. 13-1 versus for the Omni Knight, 12-4 for the Brewmaster. So yeah, very back and forth matchup there. It seems like they're both having a good time with the last hits. Neither one going to kill the other, though, it seems like.
Nah, shouldn't happen. This is a really interesting matchup because these two generally do really well against other melee heroes, but they sort of cancel each other out in their guard. I say that, but Yapzor's coming in, trying to add his flavor.
Well, middle lane again, more harassment, but yeah, Boogie. Yapzor, is this a kill? Illusory Orb in 4 seconds. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit too deep, and yeah, with that Drunken Haze, even some misses kicking in. Not worth the dive. So, I mean, a position 4 Puck, though, like, is this way I guess you maybe expect him just to be moving around using that orb to try to make kills happen? Because he doesn't have a stun, obviously, so it's a little bit awkward.
It's very awkward. Honestly, there's not much more he can do. He could try to, and I think he's been trying to do this. He's sort of mirror the movement from DNZ and just try to be as annoying as possible. Basically just canceling DNZ out. I don't think they need Yapzor to enable any kills because I think they're fine with how the laning stage is currently going. So just being able to sort of basically just annoy him. Just, you know, run around next to him and make sure that any lane that DNZ shows up, Yapzor is there as well.
Middle lane. Again, guess what? There's 3 heroes on either side. Haven't said that before. Yeah, Clockwork rotating in the flank. Armin got his ice armor at level 3, so again, only has that level 1 Frost Blast. Damage output, maybe not the greatest, but as I say that they're going to go in Reality Rift as well as a Chaos Bolt, but Armin's the one that's in trouble now. Lich running away. Homing Missile is on top of him. He'll be fine, though, getting covered by the tower. You see DNZ finally made his way in, Cogs. Blocking Puppy, but guess what? Ogre Magi's tanky, but maybe not tanky enough to pull back in. There's a Purification Heal as well as a repel from Fata, though, and Puppy will stay alive. Yapzor going in for the kill on a Clockwork, going for a second one on Armin. The Magic Stick only going to save him for so long, and now the Purification again from Fata. Just like that, it's going to be a 3-0 turn, most likely. Oliver's man fighting, but it's not enough. He finally goes down. How about Omni Knight rotation, man? That's the power of this hero. You think you have kills, and no, you don't, and they get turned.
It's almost classic Secret and classic Yapzor, you know? There's like a huge fight, and who takes the kills? It's Yapzor. And suddenly this Puck is actually, you know, level 3, the Strankle Boots, and I don't know, this is, yeah, like you said, good rotation from Fata. Almost should have been a kill for Penta, but Fata's early rotation paying off there, and this is just Penta. I don't know, it's really difficult for him to find a kill here.
I love the value point in the repel early on, too. We'll sometimes see Omni Knights just kind of pass up the repel early on, get more points into degen, take advantage of that for the laning phase. But Repel is a very strong tool this game in general, and obviously coming into play right there to help save Puppey. And ultimately, again, set up that turn top lane. Watching this action, but that was actually a kill in the bottom lane. As I was watching them go top, so I don't know if you were watching it down here, but he died at the tower, it seems like.
Yeah, I was. He tried to play a little bit aggressively, didn't see the supports, and he tried to use his ultimate, but they perfectly stunned him down.
Okay.
They locked him down with stuns. So that was a bit unfortunate for him. They didn't even need to use the silence. Like, Puck doesn't have the silence skill thus far. Doesn't need it either.
Yeah, so at least he didn't use the cooldown right there, of course, but still a nice kill for Secret. 5-0 start, 3,000 net worth lead. Obviously, Secret looking very good as far as their start is concerned. And Razor, you know, he's ace. He's 39-24. He's frankly dominating this top matchup. And I guess we can't be too surprised by that. It's ultimately a Razor versus a melee hero in general is usually going to go to the advantage of Razor. And there's no different with this matchup.
Oh, for sure, for sure. The only reason this Doom is still doing so fine, or relatively fine, is because it's a Doom. And perhaps this is one of the reasons why they picked it, because they figured this was going to be a sack lane anyway. But, yeah, if you're Penta then, though, you know, you want the other lanes to be much better than this right now. And right now they're not really finding anything. If anything, they're the ones getting pressured. Fata diving into tier 1 tower mid as well.
Yeah, it's honestly, he's not even really diving. He's kind of just sitting there. Like he's like, you can't do anything about this. I'm going to completely zone you out even near your tower. I mean, that's just how ridiculous this hero is right now. And because they can. I mean, Soul Ring on this hero is so freaking good. It tanks him up plenty. The regen is kick-ass. And obviously the constant mana burst to use this purification if need be. It almost feels like it makes this hero unkillable in the early game at least. So he's taking advantage of that for sure.
I like what Secret is doing right now. They're rotating mid one to the jungle and actually giving Yapsor a little bit of space to farm here. And this makes it really difficult for Penta to actually find an opening. Because you can see the supports are smoking down here, but all they find is a puck. They can't kill this puck. They could kill mid one, but they can't kill the puck. So another support rotation wasted from Penta, and you know, this is Secret just sort of being completely uncontested in this laning stage.
Yeah, interesting item choices coming up, by the way. Fata, nice repel. He's good. He just TPs away, nothing they can do. Once again, that value point in Repel early on is definitely paying off here for the Omni. In fact, he has a second point in now. He's already level 8, yeah, so understandable there. Back to, you're talking about Puck. He actually went the Tranquil Boots again, though, being in position 4, so it's understandable going that direction. And then Razor even just getting the early Hooded Defiance. As I say this, okay, Doom's activated, but he's plenty tanky, so but with DNZ rotating in, maybe that is going to be enough, actually. Battery's all taken down. Puppey comes in for the assist, but it's not going to be enough. So finally, Penta gets on the board as 9 gets credit right there. I mean, a very early Doom active. It ultimately works out, though. Good rotation from Clockwork, actually, for Penta. But yeah, the Hooded Defiance ideally will help keep Razor alive moving forward. Not in that case,
really good timing on that gank, actually. They knew the TP from Omninut was down because he had to defensively TP out mid, so there was no repel or purification rotation. And then Puck, you know, in the past, what, 2, 3, 4 minutes now, instead of mirroring the movement from DNZ, he's been just playing a little bit greedy farming down here. So they knew that, you know, at most, any rotation that's going to come towards top for that Razor kill is not going to be, or not going to prevent the kill anyway. So really good timing here.
Is under attack.
10-minute pounding room. DNZ gonna zone out Ogre Magi, pick it up for himself. So nice job by him there. He's level 4.5 now. Overall, Clockwork definitely struggling on the levels. He's 4.5. I guess Ogre Magi is also down there, to be fair, so it's not like he's there by himself. Puck even buys a tome, meanwhile, as he is level 6 now, so has that Dream Coil again. It's one of those games you have to kind of remind yourself that it is a support Puck, so definitely take that into consideration when you see his levels and whatnot. Speaking of items, Omni Knight, going the drums build, and I was actually going to bring that up about Razor. The fact that he valued the Hooded Defiance over, say, the drums, which has proven to be a good item on this hero. What do you think?
I like it, because I think Ace needs to play this utility core kind of hero right now. They definitely want this build from Vata right now, and he had such a good laning stage as well that I think they need to play a little bit more greedy in Vata. I wouldn't be surprised, I mean, it's not necessarily greedy, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him build the Midas after the drums as well. I see KP does it a lot in the mid game, going back for the Midas.
Yeah.
It's just such a good item because you want those early talents, right? Level 15 talent. Oh, top lane. Is that a dead Ace? Should be.
Wow, this is a big rotation, isn't it? That's 4 heroes, so yes, it is. 4 versus 1 usually is going to be the benefit of the team with 4, and that's the case there for Penta. I was watching the middle lane during all that, actually. And Omni Knight, no kills happened, but he actually forced the primal split out of Brewmaster, who then ultimately just kind of sat there with it and did nothing, and now just walked back to base. So that's definitely still a victory for the Omni Knight, especially in the middle lane. But yeah, losing Razor in the meantime, so Aces might want to think about not going back to the top lane, at least by himself anymore.
Fata's doing such a good job at posturing himself in this mid lane. Like, he's so aggressively pushing this tower. Well, maybe he gets punished for it now. Nope.
Going on
just kidding. Or, well,
yep. Too much physical damage. Well played there.
Too greedy, I guess. But no, in general, I like the way he's been posturing himself up there. I think he needs to do that because he's buying so much space and time for his team. Because I mean, you mentioned it. Boogie wasted the ultimate onto the Omni Knight, didn't even get a kill. And I mean, we haven't even talked about mid one in so long, and that's just, I think, basically a good TLDR of how this game has been going. They've just been buying space from mid one so much.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he went the Dragonlance, to be honest. Mask of Madness has proven to be a very good build, and especially on a free farming gyrocopter. It seems like that could have just really propelled his farm that much more, but Dragonlance is more of the expecting fights perhaps earlier on. Of course, the eventual Hurricane Pike is always going to be good. You are dealing with a clockwork, so maybe that's the logic ultimately from mid one right here.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think you want to go for the early Hurricane Pike against the Clockwork, even against the CK. If somebody gets targeted, you can just force them, or obviously you can force them yourself. You're definitely right. The Mask of Menace is the much better farming item, but I don't think Secret can play this game like they can with the Dusa last game. I don't think mid one can just sit in the jungle for like 50 minutes and just come out fully farmed. I think he needs to fight with his team at some point, and they know it as well. That's why I think Ace is also preparing. I wouldn't be surprised if it builds something like a pipe. I don't think they necessarily need it, but some sort of like team fighting item. If this was a Fata Razor, I'd say he could go for the mech as well. I wouldn't be surprised either.
That would be
just something that allows them to group up.
Yeah. Huh. I want to see the Helm of the Dominator, man. Speaking of complexity, they're a team that likes to do that every now and then. But I mean, the way Secret's playing this game, it is a very, again, kind of group up, do objectives, line up, especially the way that they're playing in general. So something like that could be interesting. But yeah, I mean, the idea of the full pipe. What did he buy, by the way? He bought something.
He bought bots, just BOTs.
Oh wow. Okay. So.
I mean, it's a bit of a sort of like greedy farming build. Nothing too bad either.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, Puck with a blink. This is a support Puck, 13 minutes, and even if it's an offlane Puck, that's a good timing, right? But this is a support Puck.
It's Yapster, though, so...
Yeah.
It's kind of expected, right? We're talking a lot on Secret as far as their item progression and stuff, so let's look on the other side here. Penta, Chaos Knight, we've overlooked this, maybe. Hannah Midas picked up on Chaos Knight, and now he's working towards the Armlet, of course, but... Oliver going a little bit greedier of a build, but gotta say, it seems like it's somewhat paying off. 6,100 net worth, he's just behind the gyrocopter at this point.
No, I like it. He has to go for it. CK is notoriously bad at sort of like flash farming in comparison to other heroes, especially in comparison to Razor and Gyrocopter, two of the better flash farming heroes.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, yeah, they're definitely better in terms of flash farming than CK, so this just allows him to keep up in terms of net worth with the others. And as you can see, I mean, he's above the Ace Razor. So this is a really good item for him.
And then you have Doom, actually. You can't overlook what he's doing. He's actually went the drums into the Medallion of Courage. And again, when it came to CS early on, he really wasn't doing the best, but they did get a couple of kills on Razor, and I think that really propelled his farm. And why we're seeing it where it is. Speaking of Razor, they spot him up here. Hookshot is ready. He's going to go for it. Oh, that was so close. Just out of range, though, I believe. And he's able to TP out in time as a result. So good getaway from Ace. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is pushing bottom lane. Should be able to get a tier 1 down here. Bloodlust is up. And mid 1 will just kind of sit at the tower and take it out. 2,700 gold saved up by Gyrocopter, by the way. So and maybe he'll just right-click that Hurricane Pike. It's very possible. Bottom lane, they're going in. Brewmaster's in trouble. He does have a primal split. Will he be forced to use it? Not just yet. Fana taking the nuke from Lich as I hear the Doom. Okay, it was actually activated on Omni Knight. He got the repel off. The Chain Frost bouncing around. Ogre Magic going to run in as well. Omni Knight still taking plenty of damage though. The repel wears off, and he will go down. So good chase from Penta so far right here. Penta wants more though. Puppy, he's on the run. Mid 1 throws on the call, and if anything, zone them out. But Hadouken going to be used by 9 right there, and the double kill as a result for Doom, actually. So Penta, 3 for nothing at the bottom lane. That was quite the defense there.
Yeah, a bit greedy from Secret to go in there. I think they felt a little bit too overconfident because, you know, this puck has had his blink arrow for a while. They haven't really done anything with it, and maybe they just decided, hey, let's just try and go for a kill here. But diving a tier 2 tower without vision is really dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, that might just be a deace.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. Maybe not. The Link, I guess, is keeping him alive. If anything, TNC. Here's the purification that Repel's put up, and now Ace is like, come at me, bro, TNC. Obliges, he ends up going down to resolve. Brewmaster's going to come back together on the Earth Brewling in just a second. Omni-Knight sitting on top of him. Nice blink away from Boogie. He actually avoids the Pulse Nova as well, and Plasma Field, you should say. And now Boogie is just going to TP away, so that'll be a nice get away from him.
Mid one gets caught up by Oliver. It's a really strong solo kill for Penta.
Oh, wow, that was a nice Phantasm, too. Got the 3 illusions as a result. Yeah, that's a big kill for Penta right there.
Yeah, and with these Phantasms and illusions, he could even threaten the tier 1 tower as well. It's a bit unfortunate that this wave is pushed in, but no, at least he's damaging the tier 1 a little bit.
All right, so what do we think? I mean, got to give credit to Penta, but I do kind of agree with you. Obviously, at the bottom tower, they dove pretty aggressively. Maybe Secret overplaying their hand a little bit here early on.
Yeah, look at Armen's ward. Like he dropped a sentry because he thought, well, did they have vision here, or why did they jump us like this? Doesn't find a ward because they actually didn't have vision there, so it was a bit of a weird jump. I think it comes down to, you know, them having a really early blink on the puck, but not doing anything with it. And obviously, Omni-Knight had a really good time early on as well. And sometimes you just feel overconfident, you know, you just, oh, I'm an Omni-Knight, we have a blink, let's just go in, pick off somebody immediately. But it's not as easy, and I mean, it happens once in a while, and they just fall back. I mean, they always have these stacks prepared. I don't even know who's preparing these stacks. I keep looking, and they're all running around together, but somebody is still preparing these stacks.
I would assume maybe Puppy, but, you know, I'm with you. It does feel like it's hard to...
Has to be Puppy.
How are they doing it while also doing so much else, it feels like. I mean, mid one, this also just feels odd to me. He's been sitting on so much gold with just a Dragonlance early on, essentially. I mean, he has 3,800 gold right now. He's going to buy an Eagle Song right here, so he's actually going to go right into a Butterfly after all of this. But this is a very delayed item, and let alone, I mean, you just spent all that gold on a chunk of agility, but it took a while to even get there. He died in the process. Secret's not afraid to be greedy here, it seems like, with their item build.
Yeah, and, I mean, that's the weird thing, though. I mean,
yeah, that's a Doom activated on Omni-Knight. TP's coming in from Puppy. I don't know if that's going to be enough to save him, though. In fact, it's going to set up a Chain Frost target. Bounces back to him as a result. He eventually goes down, and now Puppy is also going to be falling. Secret falling apart at the seams, it seems like. Razor now even comes in with the Eye of the Storm. We'll be able to take out one as he gets the kill on Lich and maybe go for another on Brewmaster, but the Primal Split activated. Razor, he's got the link on one of the Brewlings right there. He's dealing a lot of damage, actually, plus 280 for him. Up over here, the call-down's not going to be enough. Down goes Gyrocopter to get the kill on Doom, I guess, but the pull-in of Oliver with the Reality Rift, he gets another one, and now he's going for Ace, trying to complete the whole job. Ace is a little fast, but no, the Reality Rift, get over here, he says. Triple kill for Oliver. Penta Sports all of a sudden. I think it's safe to say they're in the lead at this point.
For sure, this is very unexpected after, you know, how the laning stage went. Again, we highlighted all these early items, these big advantages on certain heroes, but suddenly, if you look at the net worth, the Brewmaster is ahead of Fata's Omni-Knight. Fata's Omni-Knight was doing so well in the early game, and even the Doom was sort of getting trashed in the lane. I mean, you know, he got completely out-farmed, but getting some of these really crucial kills, and suddenly they're back in the net worth lead, or rather, well, I guess they even it out. But I believe the graph is going to go down to in favor of the Dire at some point. Yeah,
no, it's definitely going to bounce in that. I mean, you look at the top right there, it's a slight advantage now for Penta, just under 1,000. But for the first time, it's in their favor, really, since the very, very beginning of the game. As you look at that net worth chart. And I mean, I find myself in a position where, yes, Penta's playing very well, especially Oliver on this Chaos Knight. Again, the earlier hand of mine is definitely paying off. The recovery of Doom, as you're talking about, etc. But, man, I can't help but get over the fact Secret is just overplaying completely. I mean, from just their movement as a team, that whole diving at the bottom lane that backfired, to I still can't get over this item decision of mid one, frankly. The idea that he's going in and Dragonlance right into a Butterfly, and we are now – he's had the Dragonlance for a good 8 minutes at least. And yes, he finally picked up an Eagle Song, but he's died twice in the process. When, you know, if he went more of the SNY, if he went more of the Mask Command, more of the routine build, you got to wonder perhaps how different this game would be instead. So it just feels a little off right now for Secret as far as their overall game plan. But with that said, they do take back the net worth lead slightly, and there still is plenty of game left here for this team.
Yeah, so might be getting caught out though. They have a perfect ward to scout him out. Baiting out the phase shift first and...
Oh, nice. Oh, the crowd control, almost enough. Jeez, that had to be at the last split second there.
Yeah.
Be able to jump.
No, I totally agree with you. Like the way Secret's been playing is sort of mid lane, Omni Knight getting caught out. I don't think this should be a kill. I mean, this is just a Doom.
Yeah, it's dealing plenty of damage, but you're all right. It's not going to be enough, and now 9 is going to be turned actually. That's Dream Kills used, and Penta will throw out the heal. He gets the last lap there in that middle lane. But Oliver elsewhere picks off Gyrocopter again. So yet again, that butterfly is going to be delayed even longer. This Gyrocopter out of control. He has a freaking heart, and he almost has a blink now on top of that. I mean, how do they stop this guy? Well, DNZ will get killed by neutrals meanwhile, but I don't know if they can. I mean, how do they deal with CK? That's what it comes back to, though.
It's, for now, they don't really. They have to sort of avoid him. They have to... Honestly, they just have to play more focused. It feels like they're giving away these easy kills, you know, mid-1 getting caught out here and there, which is sort of fine once or twice, but it's happening way too often. They definitely need either support to babysit him, or they have to... Or he can only farm in areas where they have perfect vision for this not to happen. Especially the way he itemized. Like we pointed out, you know, if he had at least one defensive item, if he had the Hurricane Pike, I think the way he would play is not, you know... I mean, if you have the Hurricane Pike, you can farm a little bit more aggressively, because you have at least some form of defensive movement.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just going all in onto that butterfly.
I'm just looking at this Chaos. He has 4,100 life at 22.5 minutes. I mean, that's just, like, what? That's just absurd. All right, man. He's dead. Yeah, he's definitely dead. Right, so they find him in the jungle. But, yeah, bottom lane, you're right. Fata goes down. It's I can't seem to catch these Chaos Knight kills. They just happen so quickly.
Yeah, the first blink reveal, and this Chaos Knight, 700 crits, 800 crits. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, they're going to try to go for Roshan.
I like this decision, but honestly, they're so slow. If Penta were aware of this, they could rotate for this. Like, look at them. They're already retreating because they know they can't take this.
Oh, Clockwork coming in, trying to disrupt if anything, buy some time for his teammates. DNZ throws the Cox up, 9. He's in rotation as well on the Doom. Puppy, he's going to be caught. It seems like, if anything, Oliver, he finds him, pops the cat or the Phantasm as well, and ultimately gets the easy kill.
Can take Roshan out if they want to.
I was going to say, they were pinging the middle tower, but yeah, why not just steal Roshan at this point? They definitely do it pretty quickly, especially with the Chaos Knight. They got the debuff with the Medallion. DNZ zoning out Puck as well, and going to try to prevent a steal, if anything, from the Puck. Yeah, the Absolute can't get in here. This is going to be a steal, or more so a take by Penta. And now Oliver has an Aegis, like you were going to kill him anyways, right? But why not? Just in case they happen to somehow kill him.
Just in case. And it also makes it much easier for them to siege towers.
Is he finding more? He's just hunting, man. Vata. Vata, if he gets caught here, he is a little too fast, though. Has those drums to activate if need be, but Lich is going to catch up. No, there's a repel. And he'll be, oh, maybe not. Chain Frost, they really want to get this kill, man, and actually they're going to go for it, and they will get the kill as a recall. As a result, Chaos Knight pulls him in, and shortly after he just dies. That's just how this combo works with the CK. He's level 20 now as well, and that's something else I was going to point out as he actually continues, but he gets the Reality Rift Pierce's spell immunity talent, which obviously is great against the repel of Omni Knight here.
And this is also one of the reasons why an early Midas is so good on CK. You know, getting those talents is really important. If Omni Knight wasn't part of this game, you know, maybe even getting the whole 150 gold talent would be worth it as well. Like, there's the Midas, it makes so much sense, and it's paying off. Like, this CK seems absolutely unstoppable with the Aegis. Why should they stop? They could just go high ground. They don't even need Phantasm to really threaten this tower. I mean, Cooldown was already blown, so was Dream Coil. What does Secret have to throw at them?
No, they got nothing. They got nothing, and Penta knows this. They're going to call their bluff if anything. Puck. Oh, well, he goes into the backline. That's a dead Yapzor. I mean, maybe not. Blink away. Phase shift blink. Okay, so he is good. But just trying to deter them as much as possible, of course. Homing missiles being thrown in. There's another call down, but it kind of tickles, especially Chaos Knight. Even Brewmaster's not too concerned. Elsewhere, DNC will die. That was in the middle lane, actually, so bit of a distraction, I guess. Tier 3 tower, the backdoor protection kicking in, and it's going to force Penta back now. Homing missile blink. Oh, no, he's just going to take it. Says not a big deal, so. But they still deal plenty of damage, does Penta, and Chaos Knight's going to have an Eye of Scotty next, as far as a follow-up item goes, so if it was already tough to kill him, it's going to be even tougher now.
This is why this Dusa ban was so strong. If they had a Dusa instead of a Gyrocopter, oh bottom lane, that's a dead puck. If they had a Dusa instead of the Gyrocopter, I would say that Secret have a much better, much better way of taking these fights. It would be a completely different game. But Gyrocopter melts underneath the Phantasm Illusions. Even with the Butterfly, you're gonna die so quickly.
And you know what? The more I'm thinking about it now, and you make a good point right there, that really to the credit of Penta, the CK pick is proving to be such a strong, not just because in hindsight, yeah, he's farming really well, and he's taking over, but it forced Secret to hold that thought though, because there's a pull-in and down goes Razor in a matter of seconds. He couldn't even react through the Reality Rift Chaos Bolt, and Oliver just running away to call it in again, just slowing him if anything, but beats down the racks, gets one, going for the range racks. That's easily the set of racks cleared, and he goes back in for mid one, actually. The repel not going to matter in that case because of the talent as we just talked about, but CK doesn't want to overcommit here. He does have the Aegis still, so wouldn't be surprised to see him kind of man mode and look to go back in. In fact, he's going to get caught, so he's going to be forced to fight if anything, so he goes down, but again, going to be coming right back up. Doom activated on a Gyrocopter in the back lines. Fata, meanwhile, just trying to run, gets pulled back in by the Reality Rift, repels up. Now they're looking to turn on Oliver. This would be a big kill if they could somehow manage it, but with all the team support nearby, I don't think that's happening. And Oliver will eventually walk it off. And Penta's just going to fall back. How about that? A Chain Frost to clear the creep wave. And our men will TP out as well.
That's a classic Armand. Actually, it's not even a classic Armand. That's something that a lot of Lich players do. Lich doesn't have really good wave clear. Like Frost Blast is not really good wave clear, so just drop the ultimate. But yeah, this is you definitely made a good point. The CK pick was really good, and I think the point you're trying to make, or at least I hope you were trying to make, is that it forced him to pick a hero that deals with illusions.
Exactly.
Because the lineup didn't do it until then, and we've been talking about during the draft. We were talking about all the potential. Oh, is it going to be an offlane Omni Knight, position 4 Omni, whatever. I wouldn't even be surprised if they had something completely different up their sleeve or up their minds. But because of that CK pick, they were forced to pick this Gyrocopter. And right now it's not paying off, even though the lane stage is so good.
And Gyrocopter's building in a way that he doesn't normally do because of reacting to the game on top of that. So it's, oh my god, that was almost a 2-shot right there, and I thought double damage rune will help with that. He even has an AC now, so yeah, he goes to AC instead of the Eye of Scotty. It's a little more defensive, I guess you could say, at least with the armor, but also the attack speed plenty. Point is, yeah, great draft definitely coming out from Penta here, putting Secret in an awkward spot in, and it is showing with the CK pick especially. He's level 21 now, so level 25 most certainly in the near future at this point as well. Tier 2 tower goes down. Again, it just continues to be a case, though, for Secret. It's like, what's the answer? I guess the burn effect of the Radiance down Omni Knight, it took him a while to get it, but he finally does have it, is a good tool here for Team Secret.
It is. It adds more damage, which is definitely necessary. And, I mean, speaking of damage, mid one has the Rapier queued up. And he knows the only way they can really take those illusions with so much HP, so much armor on top of it, is with the Rapier. Like, he's not going to deal any damage with any other item, really.
Razor, the Ags coming out, so that Eye of the Storm a little stronger now, and ideally more effective for helping to deal with the illusions and fighting in general, of course. But, I mean, again, you look at his build, a Hood, 4 staff, and Ags, it's not necessarily the biggest damage output coming out from him. Really continuing to rely on the Gyrocopter for that, as you mentioned, the Divine Rapier queued up. That'll be the idea, at least.
I will say that one thing that Secret could look to exploit, I mean, I'm not sure how likely that scenario is, but if they can kite around the CK, if maybe Phantasm is blown and they can kite him around, it's easier said than done, but the rest of the team actually doesn't deal that much damage on Penta's side. We have the Brewmaster, we have the Doom, they build utility items more so than anything else, so they don't really deal that much damage. If they maybe burst them down first before they deal with the CK, because you're not going to kill the CK first. That's not going to happen unless he commits suicide.
Yeah, no.
Especially with a Scotty queued up.
Exactly, yeah. It's definitely not the target you want to be 100% focus firing, but to be fair as well, Doom is also proven to be a tough kill. He has a Solar Crest as well as a Heaven's Halberd, and he has Casual Plate Mail now on top of that, so he's going to the Shivas. So he's building appropriately, it seems like, to make sure to stay alive. Brewmaster, similar idea. Not only does he have his passive, but the items he's building, the Forest Staff, the Vlads. He's building an MKB next, though. That is interesting, but of course the idea of the Gyrocopter having that butterfly wants to help get some damage through onto him especially. But yeah, Brewmaster, again, back to the passive, the Drunken Brawler. He can definitely start dishing out some decent damage here.
Yeah. I like this item build a lot from Boogie, actually. Usually, or I think the most common build we've seen from Brewmaster in the past couple of weeks is, you know, the ultimate focus one, right? We see armor stacking, and then we see the Talon, of course. We see an early or mid one. I might just die here. Yep.
I look away for a second, I hear the noise, and you casting it, I go back, and he's already below half life. Oh, the Gyrocopter. He's there for a minute, no buyback.
No buyback.
I mean,
they can force it, or they can, you know, in their heads, they want to force this buyback. But once they realize there's no buyback, they could just go for the tier 3 here.
They saw the Sacred Relic on him, no doubt. So I would not be surprised if they're confident he doesn't have it. And look at that Phantasm. That's 4 illusions he gets. Oh, and he's going in! The range on that is absurd. Oh my gosh. I mean, that might be game.
That might just be game, yeah.
That's probably it. We might have a game 3 on our hands now as a result of what just happened right there. I mean, obviously it's been growing this whole game. It's not that surprising to see as Oliver goes back in on an ace, gets half-life, will be healed up a little bit. Fata doing what he can to keep him alive. The Dream Kill as well, used very defensively. Boogie pops the Primal Split. Oliver, he's just focusing on the tier 3. Guardian Angel coming out, but Ace is still taking plenty of damage. He's going to eventually fall, it seems like. If anything, he's trying to kite, but it's not going to be enough. The Reality Rift, and he does go down. The Purge of Storm Spirit, or no, the Storm Panda, I should say, is what comes through to allow them to do damage right there through the Guardian Angel. Obviously the buyback on a Razor, but it just doesn't matter. I mean, Penta, this won't be the actual finish, but they get plenty out of that, and they're going to fall back comfortably.
Get so much out of this, and that's now a CK with a 9k net worth advantage. That is absolutely disgusting. He hasn't, like, for this fight and push, he didn't even pick up the Scotty. I mean, he doesn't have the money for it just yet, but he didn't even need the Scotty. Like, his item, or his inventory is already sufficient to just be impossible to kill. And, I mean, like you pointed out, yeah, Doom is incredibly tanky as well. 29 armor with a Shiva's Guard now on top. Yeah. How do you even kill this Doom?
Yeah, you're 20 evasion on top of that. I didn't even realize that. The 15 talent, like, he is just evading everything with the attacks, with the Solar Crest Halberd and that as well. So, yeah, 52% evasion. Holy shit.
I really like this draft and itemization from Penta, knowing that, you know, Secret side doesn't have a lot of damage. I mean, I did bemoan this lack of damage on Penta's side, but Secret has even less damage, honestly. Like, Razor needs to steal damage first. And, of course, mid one doesn't have a lot of
Secret's desperate. They're trying to make a play right here, Doom. They're going to be the target, but we just got finished saying how tanky he is. Guess what? He survives for the time being. The call-down's coming out, trying to finish the job. Omni Knight dying, though, in the midst of it. Chaos Knight, he's going to be locked down by that Dream Kill. They eventually do kill Doom, but he buys back right away. Clockwork also gets picked off. And actually, Chaos Knight is getting a little low right here. Ace throwing out the Link, draining plenty of damage. They finish off Fata on the back lines. Does Boogie on that Brewmaster, but Oliver, he has a lot of damage drained from him. He just needs to worry about staying alive at the time being. Ace going to be locked down by others, though. That's going to be a dieback for him. And with Gyrocopter dead as well, no buybacks on either one of them. GGs are called. Game number 3 is upon us as Penta, they take out Secret here in the second game. What a game overall as a team, but especially the Chaos Knight, of course.
Insane, I gotta say. After that start, you know, I have to highlight this. A 13-minute 4-position puck with Blink, right? We have Fata just sitting in front of tier 2, basically uncontested. We have mid 1 farming stacks after stacks, and they still lose that game. I don't want to take anything away from Penta. I think they played really well. I think they executed their lineup in the mid-game almost perfectly. Yeah, there were a couple of hiccups here and there, but great itemization on all 3 cores, even on the supports. But honestly, I can't help but feel that Secret also gave them a lot of room, not only by being passive, but also by overextending